Let's move along here. Let's keep this train rolling along. The British fans have been asking for us to speak to the one and only Chris Eubank, and now here he is. Chris Eubank, holy smokes. My friend, I have to stand up here. And wow, what a handshake that was. Holy moly. I have never seen, there is no way you are 51. Put the headset. 51 years young, Chris Eubank. There is no chance in hell.
Oh, yes. These are...
Okay, yes.
Can I just hold on to this?
Okay, no. Oh, yeah, you know what? You don't have to wear these as long as you can hear me. You can hear me, right? Yeah, I'll just put them down here. And let's boost his mic up there. You are 51, Chris?
I go to the gym, and I suppose at this age, I guess you learn to, I suppose, train to look after the greatest instrument on earth, which is your brain and your body.
This is, I've never seen a human being look like this at 51. I saw you from afar, and I said, that man's at least 34, 30. Of course, I know you are, but I've never seen you in person. You look phenomenal.
Thank you. That's
Congratulations.
Thank
wow,
you.
This is amazing. So you are here in Las Vegas. You work for Sky Sports, correct?
I suppose having been a former participant of the great game
of boxing,
yes, I've worked with, I suppose everybody.
Okay.
In terms of actually passing over the philosophy of the combat sport, which is boxing. And it looks like now I'll do a little bit of the MMA as well.
What does that mean? What do you mean, little bit of the MMA?
In actual fact, we're here, we're talking about boxing and MMA.
Of course. Are you an MMA fan, Chris?
I do like the martial arts. Something that I should say, which I was taught, may resonate to the fans, which is that boxing is the highest form of martial arts.
Interesting.
The reason for which is...
Okay.
You first have to learn how to absorb punishment before you can learn how to initiate it.
Okay, fair enough.
It is the only martial art where immediately your first lesson is full contact. It's never semi, like all the rest of the martial arts.
Interesting. What was your reaction when you found out that a martial artist who is 0-0 in professional boxing would be coming over to fight the great Floyd Mayweather? What did you think of that?
Well, okay, when I first heard, then obviously I didn't believe it could happen. But now that has happened, it is a wonderful thing for fighters. This is how we earn our money.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, it means that boxing and MMA is evolving. And it's what we do as humans. The condition is to evolve. And we are evolving. And so, it is very positive. Both men are going to be earning tens, if not hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
That is good for boxing and MMA. And so we are grateful. As a former participant, as I said, I'm grateful to Floyd and Conor for opening these gates.
Conventional wisdom seems to be that if Floyd, say, went over to the UFC and fought in a cage, he would not stand a chance.
No, he wouldn't.
But there are some people who think that Conor stands a chance on Saturday. Are you one of those people?
Yes.
Why?
Well, he stands a chance because he doesn't have to box. If he boxes, no, he doesn't stand a chance.
Interesting. What do you mean?
A farce.
It's a boxing match.
Yeah, but you can also fight. You see,
you can only use these. So what's the difference? Explain it to us. Educate us.
Okay, well, look. If he boxes Mayweather, boxing, that suggests... May I show you?
Please, please, please. Let's do this. Should I stand up as well? No, you don't need me to stand up. Okay, great.
Boxing suggests this.
You put this down and I'll hold it.
So boxing suggests slip-in punches, weaving, catching punches, catch, slip. That's boxing. Using your jab distance. That's boxing. Fighting is... I'm going to take your hand.
Okay. Oh my. Oh.
That's fighting.
Dirty.
I didn't say dirty.
Okay.
Because fighting isn't dirty. And we know this through Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a fighter. He'd come forward and he would swing. Now, that Conor can do. If he stands and gives any time to Mayweather, any time at all, a second, he's lost. He will never outsmart this guy. This guy is... Kasparov was the greatest chess player of all time.
That's right.
He is the Kasparov of boxing. McGregor is hard, Now, if you're a fighter, having had 52 fights, 24 of them World Championship fights, you begin to learn that really it's the hardest man who wins, because talent and skill, that goes out the window after 8-9 rounds. So sometimes you can beat a man by persevering and pushing and pressuring that man. Can Conor do that? Yes, he can. He can't box him, but he can fight him. Again, that fight would look very ungamely. It would be a horrible fight to watch.
Yeah.
Because he would be rushing him, in effect. He would be running into him. He would be taking a lot of punishment in the interim, but he's hard. And, let me just qualify hard.
Okay.
If he's got cauliflower ears,
Yeah.
and he's been hit in his normal everyday vocation with elbows and knees, I don't think he's going to have a problem dealing with guys hitting him with a glove. Also, and here is a point of interest.
Okay.
Why Mayweather would have brought it down to 8 ounce doesn't make sense.
Yeah, why? Why do you think that is?
Well, that only favors Conor.
But Mayweather has fought 46 of his 49 pro fights with 8 ounces.
But I'm saying he could have had, it was actually agreed at 10 ounces.
Yes.
Bringing it down to 8 doesn't aid him, it aids Conor.
Right.
Okay, so over and above that, also what so many people who are boxing fans and aficionados are missing is the fact that this Conor McGregor is Irish.
Yes.
Now, I don't know whether you've heard about the Celtic Warriors.
Of course.
Well, in
Pascal
warfare...
Collins, Steve Collins, you know a thing or two about him, yes.
Indeed.
Of course.
Well, in warfare,
yes,
they have ghost-like spirits.
Uh-huh.
They are able to do what other nations haven't been able to do. They are a hard people. We know that he is durable, he is tough. If Mayweather's going to beat him, he's going to have to beat him into submission. There's no tapping out here.
Right.
And that's going to be tough. It's tough to beat up a man. So I don't see this fight. I mean, McGregor talks about a knockout. I can't see that. But I can see a 12-round fight. I can see a fight going to the distance, and I can see a very ugly fight. And I can see the possibility of that Irish spirit winning out. The impossible. Otherwise, why have I traveled here over the Atlantic?
Sure.
I've come because, is there a possibility? In my mind, there is. Now, I may be crazy. A lot of people say that I am crazy. You don't become a world champion by being normal.
Right.
So I have to be slightly unhinged. Now, it's with that mindset, I can see a way that he can do it.
Wow.
He'll be able to take punishment. If he brings him into a toe-to-toe contest, if he doesn't give him time, if he doesn't give Mayweather time to set, when you go and see a show like a magic show, like Dynamo, you don't know what you're going to see, but you know you're going to see magic, right?
Yeah.
And you won't know how it's done.
Sure.
Well, this is what I'm imagining that Conor can do. He has the prerequisite, the most important thing needed to win fights. Can you take a beating? Can you absorb punishment? Can you persevere? He's got a prerequisite. It's now whether he has the correct way of using his tools. If he allows Mayweather to do what he does, it is a farce.
Right. Wow, this is fascinating insight.
And for your viewers, in fact, I can actually tell you where you can witness a blueprint.
Please.
If you put into YouTube Eubank versus Collins.
Yes.
2. Not the first fight. I had 2 fights with them.
Yeah.
The second one.
Okay.
That's how it's done. So he has a way, but if he hasn't trained that way, then he won't do it, because you only ever produce in a real fight what you've been doing in the gym.
That's the path to victory. That fight, replicate that fight, that game plan. For those that have not seen that fight,
it's called Chris Eubank against Steve Collins.
Could you tell us
2.
what the attack was? What was the attack that Steve Collins had in that fight against you?
Madness.
Madness. Pure
Yes.
madness.
He was maniacal. He was obsessed. He charged. And let me tell you, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
This is quite funny.
This is amazing.
If you watch just before the referee says box,
Okay.
this was in Cork, 1995, Ireland. Before the referee says box, this is how Steve Collins looked to me. Box. And he ran at me. He ran at me for 12 rounds. He never stopped. I could not contain him. I couldn't measure him. He gave me no chance to set because I was the guy with the skill to slip and to be cool and slip, and never gave me a chance. Rushed me. He just kept on rushing me. And that is the blueprint that could beat him. It is so very unlikely that he would follow this blueprint because he would have been training in the way he's been training. And you can't actually change your plan. It doesn't work that way. If you've been training in a particular way, you will follow what you've been doing. You have to be a nutcase. You have to be a madman. And I would say this also, that it would not be far-fetched to say this to you. I could be likened to the Mayweather in 1995.
Okay.
And you can liken Steve Collins
Wow.
to McGregor in 1995.
Wow.
There was no way this guy had a chance of beating me.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the talent, the ability, the skill, the punching power. But because of that ghost-like spirit, he was able to do the impossible. Ireland rejoiced
Yes.
for months.
Yes.
I mean, for months. It was really something.
Is that still a wound that you possess?
I beg your pardon?
Is that still a wound? The Collins?
wound?
Yes. Is it the
No,
memories?
No. It's another one.
You're at peace?
At peace.
Yeah.
This was a triumph.
A triumph for you?
Yes.
Why?
Because when I lost with dignity,
Ah.
which proves that I was a correct and decent champion.
Ah.
Champions behave like men, not like children.
Ah.
Yeah?
Did you see how Conor behaved after he lost to Nate Diaz? Because that reminds me.
He behaved like a champion.
Yes.
Huh?
I thought that was actually his finest hour.
Well, you see, look, that's what makes him also a dangerous man. A man who understands condition. You lose with your head high, held high.
Yeah.
Not with your eyes down and belligerent. That would say that he's not dangerous at all. The fact that he lost like a gentleman tells you something about his code. He has honor. That's why this fight is a very interesting fight to me. Over and above the fact that he's Irish. And in warlike situations, they do have spirits which are... What's the word? Spirits which are able to enter a different paradigm.
Wow.
He may be able to bring this paradigm into this particular fight.
I love your take on holding yourself like a champion, because you really get to see the character of a man or woman when they're down. Not so much when they're up. It's easy to be up when you're up. You know, it's easy to be boastful, but we had a fighter in our sport named Ronda Rousey. Are you familiar with Ronda Rousey?
Yes.
She lost. First loss. Never spoke to the media. It's been 2 years. Didn't show up to the press conference. Didn't talk to anyone. And some people like myself have criticized her for that. I think it's an important part of being a fighter, a prize fighter, to show up in victory and defeat, and even more so sometimes in defeat. And so I loved your words.
Even more so in defeat.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, what a lot of people don't consider is this, what I believe to be fact, when you are living the warrior's code. You see, here is the view. In fact, you know what? Let me tell you a particular philosophy which
Please.
encompasses what I'm trying to get across.
Okay.
It's called the warrior's code. It goes as follows. The warrior is strong, yet his sleep is fragile. His wisdom, an amalgamation of precedent, yet his decisions cannot be based on the frailties of man. He is rather fueled by divine inspiration, ascending from the heart. He knows not anger, and only fears the unknown. The warrior does not judge, for his true assignment is to deliver evidence of superior behavior to the Creator of all men. The warrior does not dream of frontiers. He only sees horizons. The warrior is a creature of irony, for his genuine task is to ensure peace. The true warrior knows, accepts, and embraces, above all, integrity, which is his course in life, reason, and the application of reason, which is his only weapon, and forgiveness, the one true cleansing virtue. And only when one can fully absorb these most divine of all virtues can one at last see how impossible and futile it is to make war.
Wow, that was incredible.
Well, that's what we strive to be.
Do you consider yourself a warrior?
Oh, absolutely. And it's an everyday task. Because if I'm not gentle with people, it means I failed on that particular day.
Huh.
You have to be gentle. You have to be kind. You have to be considerate. You have to be helpful.
When did you become a warrior?
Probably at 13.
13.
And I started boxing at 17.
Okay. What happened at 13?
I then understood what Sunday school was about.
Huh.
Sunday school taught me to be a warrior.
Really? How?
Yes. Well, Sunday school teaches you everything that I just said in the Warrior's Code. So it teaches you manners, morals, respect, reason, because it obeys itself, trusting your parents, dignity, integrity, punctuality, don't waste people's time.
Yeah.
Being kind, being considerate. These are the basics and the basic prerequisites to success. And I'm talking about holistic success.
Yeah.
Because look, you can find many champions who don't behave with these prerequisites, and then you don't respect them, even though they have the belts. So the idea is, when I see a champion, it's not the belt I'm looking at. I'm looking at their attitude. I'm looking at how they carry themselves. So when McGregor lost like he did, that was the hallmark of a champion. That is a very dangerous man in the ring.
Is Floyd Mayweather a warrior?
Oh, most certainly. Proved. Now, people may not like particular things about the way he does what he does with money and showing out, but then who knows? Who knows? No one knows what's in another man's mind. And so what we do is we watch and we learn from others' mistakes and triumphs. We learn. There's certain things I wouldn't do what you do. I mean, it's, the idea is to use those prerequisites, that foundation, as a way to actually carry yourself through life. It's like Rudyard Kipling, who says in his If, which again, these principles are the foundations of Sunday school. It goes as follows. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, an impossibility. If all men count with you but none too much, if you can forgive, or if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything which is in it and which is more. You will be a beacon, you will be a standard bearer, you will be a success, you will be a man.
Holy smokes. That was unbelievable. I feel like I just had an out-of-body experience listening to you recite that. How do you know that off the top of your head?
While I was training when I was champion, and while I was learning how to fight, I began learning all of these philosophies and I committed them to memory because it made sense to what I was living. Because all of these, Rudyard Kipling wrote that in for his son, If, a very famous poem. Mm-hmm. Committing it to memory made it part of me. So
wow.
You start carrying yourself a particular way. You start. It actually makes you want to be more well-mannered. It makes you conscious of how you carry yourself. This is why I say this McGregor is a dangerous man, because he conducts himself well. The language I don't get.
You don't like
but
it.
But that's today's world.
Sure.
Okay? But the way in which he accepted defeat makes him, in my view, a very dangerous man.
Wow.
Especially if he uses the tactic of fighting and not boxing in this particular contest.
And it seems like he's trending in that direction because he didn't bring any boxing trainers. He kept his same MMA trainers with him, and they continue to say we're going in there as martial artists, not as boxers. So I think you're onto something here.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just an idea, a strand of thinking in my mind, because I'm a former participant of this great game.
Sure.
And so in my mind, it's like, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's in anybody else's head.
Sure.
But what I can say is, it sounds interesting, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
It certainly does actually give cause for those to think who thought it was a farce, that this is not a farce. This man is hard. There's a lot of fighters today, they get hurt and they quit.
Sure.
He is not that.
No. Are you an MMA fan? Do you enjoy MMA?
What I enjoy is anyone who partakes in the martial arts.
Okay.
And for all those people out there criticizing Conor McGregor, saying that he doesn't deserve to be in the same ring as Floyd Mayweather Jr., I disagree. Firstly, I wouldn't have traveled across the Atlantic to watch the fight, because I don't go to fights if I know the outcome.
Ah, interesting.
1. 2, for the critics. Theodore Roosevelt.
Wow.
He stated this about the critic. It isn't the critic who counts. It is not the critic who counts. Not the man who points out where the strong man stumbled, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, the one who strives valiantly, the one who errs and comes short again and again, the one who understands the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, the one who spends himself in a worthy cause, the one who knows at best in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he should fail, at least he fails while daring greatly.
Wow.
So that his place shall never be with those cold or timid souls who know neither defeat nor victory. This man is not to be criticized. He is stepping up to the plate, not just to the plate, but against the best of this generation, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and that is to be admired.
Wow. Are you going to keep fighting? Do you want to come back? You haven't fought in what? Almost 20 years, but I keep hearing that you want to come back.
The reason I want to come back
You certainly look like you're in good shape.
it's not so much for the fight.
Okay.
It's more to do with getting myself into the physical condition which is going to allow me another 15, 20 years of fantastic mobility, using the greatest instrument on earth in the most fantastic way to have fun.
So you don't feel like you're in that condition right now?
I'm in the gym.
You are?
My trainer says that I'm fit.
Wait a second. Are you training for the comeback already?
Yes.
Really?
I've been in the gym for 4 months.
Wow. Okay.
I know how to box.
Yeah.
But my body is not what it was.
Okay.
And so I'm re-engineering it. And that is more the important factor. It isn't so much the fight, or the limelight that comes with it, or the money, or being center of attraction. That's important. But there is nothing more important than the greatest instrument on earth. Being able to run. Being able to jump off of high ridges into rivers. Being able to swim. Being able to climb. To laugh. To be happy. Huh? Being able to taste strawberry.
Yeah.
Huh?
You like strawberry?
Oh yes.
That's your favorite?
Strawberry bonbons, in fact, are my favorite.
Oh, wow. You don't eat a lot of those, I could tell.
Okay. The point I'm making is the fight is secondary. Primarily, I want to keep this machine, this temple, this body, I want to keep it in pristine condition.
Who are you training to fight?
Nigel Benn.
That's happening.
Let me tell you this.
Okay.
Again, you see, now you want to go to the fight, but me, Nigel Benn, that particular fight is keeping me away from substance like alcohol,
Okay.
cigars.
Okay.
Why? Because I'm a rude boy. Why? Because I'm a maverick. Why? Because I'm a fighter. So we want to do all that bad boy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's keeping me away from that. And that's better for me. Think of how many people, as they get older, beat themselves up psychologically for damaging their lives. They are hurting in their chests. They are hurting because of their weight. They're hurting because of the negligence they pay to their bodies. I don't want to be that. That's why I'm in the gym, and that's why I'm using Nigel Benn and one of the most dangerous sports to keep me safe.
Do you think that the fight will actually come to fruition? Or
Being the daring man that I am, it is possible.
What time frame are you targeting?
Next year, mid next year.
And where does Steve Collins play in all of this?
He doesn't play in it. This is a fight between me and Nigel Benn, and the reason why is because that's what the public want to see.
They want to see it.
The British public.
Yes.
But just keep in mind, again, we are all... ego is a blessing.
Yeah.
Because it makes you strive, it makes you fight, it makes you cunning, it makes you find a way. It actually helps your IQ find a way to achieve the objective. I am grateful to the danger that Nigel Benn is, because right now it's keeping me safe. It's keeping me healthy. The thought that actually this may happen, and I'm going to have to be in the best condition of my life to protect myself from the onslaught that he will bring.
Any concerns health-wise to be fighting at 51? Head,
Oh no, I seem to be.
I mean, you're sharp. You're sharper than I am.
My memory,
I don't know about that. The memory is the most impressive damn thing I've ever seen.
I think health-wise, no, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good, but I want to be better. Conor McGregor reminds me of Invictus. Have you ever heard of Invictus?
Yes.
It goes as follows.
Okay,
I committed it to memory.
Oh my gosh.
And it goes as follows.
All right.
Now this is in tribute to Conor McGregor.
Wow. Here we go.
Out of the night which covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Holy smokes.
I admire this Conor McGregor. I admire him for getting into the ring with Floyd. Oh my goodness. This is a treat. This is a treat.
What are you doing fight night?
Fight night?
Yeah.
Do you have something in mind?
No, I feel like we need to hear from you on fight night. I feel like you should be on the broadcast. Why aren't you on the broadcast? Sky Sports is here. Why aren't you a part of that?
I believe they have.
Oh, come on. We need to talk to them. This is a travesty.
Well, no.
Your insight has been second to none. This is amazing.
Well, Greg and Chris.
Yeah.
They asked me to give, I suppose, an insight. For why it is not a farce.
Okay.
And so over the last few days I've done.
You've been doing a great job.
Because I wouldn't be here if it was a farce.
How did you get so classy? Where did you develop this?
Sunday school.
It all goes back to Sunday school.
Sunday school. Sunday school, nothing. Again, it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Or it is so obvious, it's elusive. People can't see it.
Mr. Eubank, I have to say this has been an absolute honor for me. Wow.
You.
I have enjoyed this immensely. This has been incredible.
Okay,
you are one of a kind, my friend.
That's really
you are
great.
Incomparable. That was amazing. I wish you the best with the training. Thank you for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Enjoy the ride to the fight. And thank you for offering your insight. It has been great, a breath of fresh air, really, to hear from such a great boxer about why this man isn't a farce. And I respect and I think our audience respects that as well. So thank you very much. There he is, Chris Eubank. Holy smokes. What a pleasure. I've never met an individual quite like this man. That was something else. Dropping knowledge. Wow. My gosh. Sean Al-Shadi writing me, hire Chris Eubank right now to be on the broadcast.